So, Interlink Network just dropped its new security group feature. Now, on the surface, it looks like a simple way to earn more tokens with your friends. But here's the thing. If you dig just a little deeper, you'll see it's actually the first piece of a much bigger puzzle. So let's break it down.
Okay, so here's the game plan. We're going to start with the basics of how this whole group mining thing works. Then we'll cover the rules and get into the nitty-gritty of the reward math. After that, we hit the most important part, the human credit score. And you're definitely going to want to stick around to the end, because that's when we'll talk about the long-term strategy you absolutely need to know.
All right, so like I said, at first glance, this feature seems pretty straightforward, right? You team up, you earn more ITLG tokens. Simple. But what we're about to see is that this was designed for something way more significant than just a daily bonus.
Yeah, this is not just another mining pool, not even close. It's actually the first step in building out the network's entire trust protocol. The real goal here is to create what the project is calling a closed-loop trust network, where real users are vouching for other real users. Let's dig into how that actually begins.
Okay, so to really get how this trust network is built, we've got to look at the rules. I mean, before you can even start thinking about a winning strategy, you have to know how to play the game, right?
Getting set up is super easy. First things first, make sure your app is updated to the latest version. Then, just head to your profile, tap that little plus icon, and you can either create a new group or join an existing one. Inviting your friends is just a matter of using their user ID. The whole thing, seriously, takes less than a minute.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting and a little strategic. You can actually be in up to 5 different groups, but, and this is the key, you can only choose one of them to mine with each day, so you have to pick wisely. You want to choose the group that's most likely to be active because to earn any rewards at all, that group needs at least 3 members, and 2 of them, including you, have to be actively mining that day.
So, how does all this translate into actual tokens in your wallet? Let's break down the formula. Now don't worry, it might look a little math-heavy at first, but it's actually super simple once you see it.
It's really just a 2-step process. Think of it like this. First, the system figures out the total reward pool for the group. This is the whole pie. A fully active 5-person group creates the biggest pie, a max of 180 ITLG. Then, your personal share, your slice of that pie, is based on how many of the 6 daily mining sessions you completed yourself. More effort, bigger slice.
You know, theory's one thing, but seeing it in action makes it all click. So let's run through a quick, realistic example that you'll probably see with your own group.
Okay, check this out. Let's say your group has 5 people, but on a particular day, only 3 of you are active. That sets the group's total reward pool, the whole pie, at 108 ITLG. Now let's say you personally only completed 1 mining session that day. Your reward is 1/6 of that pool, which comes out to 18 ITLG. It perfectly shows how the group's collective effort sets the potential, but your individual hustle is what determines your final paycheck.
All right, we've talked about the daily earnings, but now we get to the real reason this feature even exists. And trust me, it is not about the tokens you make today. It's about building something called your human credit score, or HCS. And this is what's going to make or break your success on the network in the long run.
So just think of your HCS as your permanent reputation on the Interlink network. So why should you care? Because this one score is going to directly control how many of your hard-earned tokens can actually be verified and unlocked for you to use later on. Your security group isn't just a mining team. It is the main tool you have to build up that reputation.
Let me put it another way. When you invite someone to join your group, you're not just adding another miner to the team. You are personally vouching for them. You're basically telling the entire network, hey, this person's legit, they're a real human being. And that action, well, it has very real consequences for your own account.
So the choice of who you invite, it is absolutely critical. It's a two-way street. On the one hand, if you bring in trusted, active users, you're helping the network, and your own human credit score goes up. But on the other hand, if you invite bots or sketchy accounts, you're not just damaging the network, you're tanking your own reputation and putting all of your future tokens at risk.
So now that we get what's at stake with this whole human credit score thing, let's talk strategy. How do you build a group that's going to maximize not just your daily rewards, but your long-term value on this network? Okay, this right here is a super important detail for your long-term plan. Right now, to get the daily reward, a member just has to complete 1 mining session to be called active. But, and this is a big but, the project has already said that in the future, the system's going to get a lot stricter. Activity will mean more consistent, high-frequency mining, which makes the quality and dedication of your teammates even more important.
And look, this quote from the project spells it out perfectly. The number one takeaway here is that your goal should be to build a team where every single member is completing all 6 mining sessions every single day. That's the level of dedication that's going to give you that massive boost to your human credit score and in the end unlock the most possible tokens for you down the road.
And finally, let's just cover a few key rules about managing your groups. Now listen to this. You can't kick inactive members. That means choosing very carefully from the start is absolutely crucial. You can, however, leave a bad group up to twice a week to find a better one. And the ultimate prize, the thing you should all be aiming for, is that security icon. It's an award for those super active groups, and it gives a huge HCS boost to every single member.
So as you start building out your security groups, you really have to ask yourself the question on the screen. Are you building for today, or are you building for the future? Because the real game here isn't about the extra couple of tokens you might earn this week. It's about building a small, trusted, highly active team that proves your reputation on the network. The foundation you lay today will directly determine the value you unlock tomorrow.